What is up, Rad Potential YouTube? Welcome to today's video. I promise, just like the title says, we are going to be putting new lug nuts on the race car. Here's a little sneak peek. I'm telling you, these things are sick. Anyways, before we get started in the video, notice no flashing lights on this side of the shop. I installed LEDs. The other thing to notice is that it has snowed in Tennessee. So, as much as I've always thought it'd be fun to do, we're going to fire up the four-wheeler, as I grew up in the north in Indiana, and we're going to go tear up the snow. So I got you guys on my little hat strap thing we used in some of those other car videos. We're just going to go on a quick tour of the Rad Ranch in the quiet, in the snow, on the old Polaris. I have been having a little bit of an electrical issue with my four-wheeler, where one, I have to pull start it, but also two, I don't know if my four-wheel drive switch works. So we're going to hope that we don't get this thing stuck. And let's enjoy a little tour. High range. So if you guys didn't know, I ride mountain bikes too. So these are my snow-covered mountain bike jumps. Man, this is just super fun. I really enjoy riding four-wheelers. I don't know how the dog's not freezing though. How are you not cold? Do another lap or two and then go get warm again. It is cold. It's way easier to do this going down the hill. Well, that was super fun. Stoked. It's probably been, I don't know how many years since I've done that on a four-wheeler. So before I got into racing cars, raced four-wheelers, raced dirt bikes, and it was actually the first four-wheeler that my family ever got. I can remember as a kid my dad pulling us around the yard on tubes and stuff in the snow behind this thing. So it's got a lot of miles. It's well used. I'm going to get changed into shop clothes. We're going to the shop. Alright guys, we're done playing in the snow because it's all melted. And this video is going to be simply installing new lug nuts on the rally car because, well, we needed to do that. But the new seats came in, and I am beyond stoked that these came in this quickly. So I was able to find a company out on the East Coast that had a bunch of these in stock. These are Sparco Sprint. They are red, and they are going to look fire inside this car. So I'm just going to sit one in here for now. You guys can get a feel for it. But you might ask, how are we going to mount these things? That's easy. It's easy because, well, I already did a lot of the work. So the car had bucket seats in it. The red is going to be so good in here. I mean, it's in the cover, so like it is what it is. But guys, red. Okay, so how are we mounting these things? First things first. I'm mounting them on a set of sliders. Okay, and you might be like, "Yo, race cars aren't allowed to have sliders." That is true. They aren't. But these seats are in here, and they're brand new because they look super nice, okay? I figure whoever buys this car from me is going to want to put their own seat, their own setup to fit them inside the car, right? I fit really well in a Sparco Sprint seat. That's what I run in my other car. They're also a very solid budget FIA-approved seat, okay? You can spend $2,000 on seats, or you can spend like $400 a piece on seats, right? That meet the racing requirements. Now, the slider portion of this. I mounted my seat in my first gen with a set of Sparco side mount rails and mounted the seat to the floor of the car. Cut this stuff out, you mount it. On a first gen, they have these little, now that I've got this in here, it's in my way, huh? On a first gen, they have these raised pedestals, okay? For your seats they mount like this. The bolts go in the back and the front, okay? That's how those mount from the factory. You can cut all that out. Yellow car, I cut all that out and built custom rails that were flat, and then you mount the Sparco seat rails to that. This setup has a set of flat bar mounts, okay? Here, 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 and here. A simple rectangle that I made up with a set of just like race seat universal rails mounted to them for these seats, which are going to be bottom mounted to the rail, okay, and then they will bolt into the factory location. All right, now, like I said 2 minutes ago, the reason the sliders are going in, the person that gets this car, it might not be a race car to them, okay? It might just be a fun car to cruise to car shows. It might be a museum collector car. It might be a rallycross car. It might be a whatever, right? All of those things allow sliders. Rally racing does not. Your racing for lemons does not, right? Those seats have to be fixed, and they just don't let you run sliders. So anyways, we're using sliders for now, but we're not gonna, whoever races it won't have them. So, the Sparco Sprints. Let's get these unboxed. The passenger side will bolt right in. I have the driver's side already bolted in with this Corbeau, which is a bottom mount seat as well. And these were the seats I had in the car when I was racing it. You can see, got another one up here, black Corbeau seat. You probably can't because those LEDs are so bright, but I promise it's up there among some gray first gen seats, a pair of RX7 seats. There's seats in my rafters. But we're gonna get this one pulled out, and then I actually have to repair this front mount right here. The nut broke inside of the little channel on the car, so I've got to cut that out, weld a new nut to a piece of steel, and then weld the piece back into it. And that was something I noticed as I was restoring the car, and just, you know, it got put on the low priority list, and then, well, now it's high priority. So let's get these seats installed, guys. Oh yeah, and don't forget, we got new lug nuts. New lug nuts. No tool marks. Gorilla nuts, baby. Let's get these seats installed. Just imagine some cool time lapse happened. The seats bracket is now mounted to the new Sparco seat. So the bottom of a Corvo seat is narrower than the bottom of the Sparco seat by about, well, I guess this much right here. Okay, it's about 2.5 inches. Modified the rails to fit the Sparco seat a little bit. So I drilled another set of hole in the rails, and the sliders, and then re-drill the base plate. So this piece should mount perfectly into here now, which is what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna stick this in, and we'll see a red seat. Oh yeah. How about that? Alright guys, hopefully the assorted cinematic installation of me putting the driver's seat in was good, but you guys are going to now be a part of something that I haven't seen yet either, and that is we're going to pull the covers off of these seats and see how good they look. Before we do that though, like I mentioned earlier in the video, sliders, okay? These sliders have the plastic bushings in them. They've been around, I think they're maybe 2 or 3 years old, just in the race cars here, my street car. And this is why you don't run sliders in a race car, and why they'll tell you no. See that? The seats wiggle, okay? And if you've ever mounted like a, you know, and for me it's the same way, in my street car, in the silver one, the mouse, the Sparco seat I have in there, it wiggles, and you can wiggle your stock seat. The sliders have play, right? They're especially older stuff. They're just, you know, and that's no bueno for a race car. So they won't let you run that. But for right now, the seats are in. It'll be good for a street car, good for somebody driving it around. They'll want to change the seating position, probably change that stuff up for when they go racing. And I have a set of harnesses over there that'll go in this car. So let's pull the cover off. Dang. Guys, these seats, the red, is 100% the move. And I'm just saying, before this video's over, like, I guess when the video gets over, we'll just do this again. Enjoy satisfaction. Dudes, they look so good. That is the look. And they're even straight. The driver one's a tad bit lower than the passenger one, but that's okay. No, dog, back up. You ain't getting in there. Back up. Guys, they look so good. Man, I'm so amped. So, reasons to do red seats. 1, I think they're classic and they're 80s. 2, they're the same price as black seats and they look way cooler. 3, this car is a red dash, so I figured we'd do red seats. I don't believe that the original Millen one had red seats. Don't really care, because these are sick. And I've always wanted to have, you know, red seats in the race car. I'd originally planned on having red seats in the Banana, which is my original rally car, and I couldn't get red ones in time. They were all back stocked out, so I ended up with black seats, but it is what it is. How about the service lights on with the red seats? Holy cow, guys. It looks so good. So stoked. The one look we gotta look at, though. I'll make it around around the shop quick. The dog wants to go outside, but it's freezing outside. I don't know why she wants to go out there. You're not a husky. Have fun. Boom. The red, though. So good. Okay, so that is going to conclude this video. Things you should look forward to in the next, like, this week and things to happen, okay? The fact that the seats are in means that this is the end of the rally car build, basically. It's not the last video on it. I have a few other videos to go over, just like the overall video. We'll do a compression test in that one. That video will get linked on the Bring a Trailer ad. The car in its current condition, this week I'm going to get it outside. Hopefully it's not too rainy and crappy and I can get some sunlight away from my day job. And I'm going to get some pictures of this car to be able to submit the Bring a Trailer ad. Now, those are not going to be the final pictures for the ad, okay? So I have one of my local buddies, a car photographer, is going to come out and he is going to shoot the car. And we're going to have a bunch of epic pictures and I'll film that process as well. Basically, there will be a video about putting this car on Bring a Trailer. What do we have left from right now to the Bring a Trailer part whenever it's like done, right? The last 10% always takes the longest. You know, we've had this car, heck, we painted it, right? It's been white all summer. We painted it last year in the winter. So, what do we have left? I have to put the front little shark mouth cover on. I've got to install the skid plate, which is massive, right here. 3/16 aluminum. It's got a tow hook hole. It's a unit. Hopefully it fits under the new radiator. If not, we'll modify it. I've got to install the last gas tank cover, which actually goes in right in that fender well. We got to put the wheels on it, put the wiper blades on it, and I mean, that's literally it. I have a 65 F10 jet to go in the carburetor, which is a different idle jet. That'll help me get that idle situation a little bit better. It does still rev out and rip, but the idle situation's a little rich, so we're going to pull the fuel out of it. Super easy change. And even then, whoever buys it might be like in the mountains somewhere, and it might need the carburetor completely reset up, you know, so that takes a big toll on carbureted cars. I've got to put these pieces on here. And, I mean, guys, that's it. We built a whole car. Like not just, you know, slapping wheels on a car, calling it a build. Like, we built the car. The whole one. The whole car. Every nut and bolt has been in and out of this car. And I couldn't be happier. So with that, guys, I'm gonna leave you. Get stoked. This week there'll be another video. We'll button this thing up, get some pictures of it outside, maybe drive it a little bit, but we're not getting it dirty. And then the Bring a Trailer for Sale process starts. So you guys know it runs, know all that. And yeah, I have a, you know, whatever. I'll quit rambling. Thank you guys very much for watching. Keep it rad. We'll see you in the next one. And right after this, I'm actually filming a video for the Patreon. So if you're not a member of the Patreon and you want to be, go sign up. That is the best way for me to be able to answer your questions. I message and make sure that I get back to all the messages on there. I make posts generally either every week or every other week asking the patrons questions if they need me to make videos. They get videos that you guys don't, and those videos on the Patreon will only ever be on the Patreon. They will never come over here. So I'd love to build a community over there. Those guys get to know what happens before you guys do, and also get to have input in what happens. So I'd love to build that community, so go sign up. But thank you guys very much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace. So I shouted out the Patreon all through the end scene. We got to put the subscribe button up. Go find that dog. She probably ran off. Hey. I can hear her making noise. She's over there. She found something. Oh, here she comes. Hey, what are you doing? You guys say bye. Peace, guys.